Hey guys, be sure to visit my Facebook page store where you can buy anything figure related directly from me. I have a wide variety of figures, accessories, anything ranging from hot toys to SH Figuarts, Figma, and third party items as well. All you have to do is message me on Facebook, visit my Facebook page for more info. I'll leave a link in the description below. How's it going, my fellow collectors? I have returned once more to bring you all something that I have been waiting for with great anticipation. This is the review for the Hot Toys MMS 443 Wolf Predator from the motion picture Alien vs. Predator 2 Requiem. Ever since Hot Toys teased us with this figure, I believe it was early last year in San Diego Comic-Con, I was looking forward to it with real excitement. I don't normally feel that way with your average Hot Toy release, or I should say I haven't felt that way about a Hot Toy release in a long time. There are several reasons why I feel that way about this particular figure. The first reason is that I never got to own neither of the first two versions of the Wolf Predator released by Hot Toys. The second reason has to do with the source information. So I'm going to go ahead and get this review going with the first category, of course, being the source information. So the second reason why I was so excited about this figure is that I'm sort of a fan of the Predator lore, franchise, stories, and characters. It really interests me a lot. Now I need to stress that I am sort of a fan in quotations because there's still a lot I don't know about the Predator lore. My only knowledge is from what I've learned by watching the movies. For instance, I didn't know that the Predators are called Yautja until a couple of years ago. I haven't really read any of the Dark Horse comics except for Predator Bad Blood, which was an interesting story. Not bad. I should really read more though. The third reason why I was so excited for this figure is that the wolf is the best badass predator from the movies. The second best being, of course, the original Predator from the 1987 film. Now, a lot of people will probably object to that statement because the original Predator is beloved by everyone who is a Predator fan. You know, it's the first Predator that we saw on the big screen. But hear me out. The original Predator was classified as a baby on its first hunt in the jungle. And the wolf predator, he is already a seasoned veteran hunter. So that was the first time we ever got to see someone like that from the Yautja race in action. So that's one of the reasons why I think that he's the best. Not to mention that when he was on the big screen, it was pretty epic, all of his scenes. But those are just my opinions. Like I said before, the original Predator is second. It's my second favorite. Really hot on the heels of the Wolf Predator. Ian White did an amazing job portraying the Wolf Predator. He really captured the essence of the behavior of a predator like no one else except for Kevin Peter Hall. For those of you who don't know, Kevin Peter Hall was the man who portrayed the original Predator in the 1987 film. So, let's talk about Alien vs. Predator Requiem. It sucked. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I don't know if it was the actors who played the humans or the script, but it was just bad. I think it was the actors who played the humans. I just didn't care about them at all. The only good parts of the movie were the scenes with the Predator and the aliens. So, because of that, I'm going to have to give the score for the source information a 6 out of 10. And I just wanted to explain this pose real quick. I'm trying to imitate the scene where the wolf predator just arrived on Earth and he's barely coming out of the water and taking the cloak off while he's searching for the crashed predator spaceship. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to the next category now, which is packaging. So stick around. Okay, now we've made it to the category of packaging. And I gotta tell you guys, I am really impressed with this packaging. So we'll roll it down here. On the top right, you get Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. In the background, you see that there is a dark forest. And just like in the movie where it's all dark and you can barely see anything. And then you get front and center, it looks like a drawing to me of the wolf predator. Yeah, I think it's a drawing because I don't think you can get this type of articulation with the figure. And then you get the plasma cannons on his shoulders, which are smoking because he just fired them off. The only thing that I don't like is the pose that they put him in. He looks really awkward. And then moving along in the middle, you get more graphics. These letters spell out Wolf Predator and they wrap around the box. And they are raised. And they feel a little bit sticky. Moving on down, on the bottom middle, you get more graphics that say Wolf Predator, Heavy Weaponry, 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 443. And you also get the targeting reticle that you see on his biomask. On the bottom left, you get the movie Masterpiece logo. And on the bottom right, you get the Hot Toys logo. And just like I showed you guys already, the image wraps around the sides, so you get more of the dark forest here. And the letters WO that spell wolf. On the bottom, you get, again, Wolf Predator Heavy Weaponry, 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 443 with a targeting reticle. And on the other side, you can see the end of his combi stick with more of the dark forest in the background. And the letters TOR that spell Predator. And on the bottom, same thing, Wolf Predator Heavy Weaponry, 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 443, and then the targeting reticle. And on the top, you get again Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. On the bottom, same thing. And then on the back, you get an image in the background of the Wolf Predator's biomask. And on the top, you get the targeting reticle again. Wolf Predator Heavy Weaponry, 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 443. On the bottom, you get the warning and choking hazards and things that nobody really reads. On the bottom right, again, you get the Hot Toys logo with the Hot Toys information. In the middle, you get the Secret Base logo with the Secret Base information. And the Toy Hunters logo with the Toy Hunters information. And on the bottom right, you get the 20th Century Fox logo with the Hot Toys information. And the barcode. And then once you remove the slip cover, you get the window displaying the figure and all of its accessories. And on the sides, you get Wolf Predator, and on the other side, Heavy Weaponry. And on the bottom, you get a smaller targeting reticle, and you get another one on the top. On the side, you get a cool image of the figure with some Photoshop done to it, like if he's cloaking away or taking off the cloaking. Nothing on the top. On the bottom, again, you get the targeting reticle, Wolf Predator Heavy Weaponry 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 443. And the same thing on this side. And on the back, on the top in the middle, you get another reticle, Wolf Predator Heavy Weaponry 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 443. And in the background, you get a picture of what looks like the figure, but this time with the biomask off. You can also see his shoulder cannons. And then on the bottom, you get the cast and crew responsible for making this figure. It says Hot Toys Limited presents Movie Masterpiece Series. And you guys can pause it right there if you want to take a look at all the names of everyone who made this figure. And on the bottom, you get a small logo of the 20th Century Fox. So that's it for the packaging. And like I said, I really like it. The only thing that bothers me is the pose that they put the image of the Predator in. They could have picked something way better than that. So because of that, I'm going to knock it down a point and it's going to get a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, don't go anywhere and we'll continue on with the next category. Alright, so now we've made it to the category of likeness. And once again, Hot Toys has blown me away with this awesome looking head sculpt of the wolf predator. JC Hong did a fantastic job. A lot of people say that the eye on the scarred part of his face should be all white, but in the movie, he looked exactly like this. So it is movie accurate. It's just all cloudy. But people, including me, were getting confused because we were seeing different renditions of the wolf predator. Like when Sideshow came out with their bust, the eye on the scarred part of the face of the wolf predator was all white, like he was blind. And the same thing with the first two versions of the Hot Toys figures. The scarred part of the face, the eye was all white, it was blind. I'm glad Hot Toys did it this way this time with this wolf predator because I'm all about movie accuracy. So I'm really glad that they did it this way. A lot of people say that the head is longer than it should be, and they're probably right, but it doesn't bother me. It still looks awesome. The detail on the scarred part of his face is really good. Excellent paint job. The inside of the mouth is all wet, like it should be. Something else a lot of people were saying as well was that this figure doesn't have enough dreads, so he's kind of bald in the back of his head. Um, I don't really think that's the case. I think there's enough to cover the back of his head. It could have done with maybe more dreads, but you know, it's good. Another thing that worries me is the metal things that are on the dreadlocks. I'm afraid that it'll be like the classic Predator where the paint will start to fade over time. I hope that's not the case with this figure. Hopefully Hot Toys has fixed that problem because my classic Predator, the dreads have started to fade, the metal pieces on them. So this figure is going to get a 100% accuracy to the wolf predator on the movie. One really big issue I have with this figure is that it does not come with the closed mandibles. Hot Toys has disappointed me once again. I don't know why they did that. They've given us closed mandibles with every other predator. And now they're cheaping us out by taking them away. I mean, I know they realize that that is limiting our posing options by taking the closed mandibles away from us. I mean, say that you want to display him without his mask and he's typing on his wrist computer. Is he going to be roaring while he's typing on the wrist computer? No, that's ridiculous. So that really upset me that they did that. But with all that said, the accuracy is still awesome. So because of that, I'm going to give the likeness a 10 out of 10. I'll run you guys through this pose as usual. He just took his biomask off and he's doing the classic roar of the predator getting ready for battle. Another thing I forgot to mention, guys, all of these hands that you see me using with the wolf predator, he doesn't come with these hands. Most of these hands are from the classic Predator, which I own. Alright guys, so that's it for the likeness. Now we're going to move on to the next category. Okay, so now we've made it to the category of outfit. And this is another category where I'm very happy with how everything turned out. First and foremost, we're going to start off with the biomask. They did a great job on this. The weathering, the cracks, the engraving of the predator symbols on the mask, the scratches, even the mesh in the eyes, it's reflective like it should be. They did a good job with that. And the necklace has individual beads on it, and the bones also are each individual pieces. They can move around the necklace also. Really good job with that too. Good paint job and everything. I got them with the double mounted shoulder cannons right now. A lot of people were having trouble with the secondary shoulder cannon. People have been having trouble attaching it to the shoulder. It's been notorious for that. But to be honest, I didn't really have any trouble at all getting this on. I was able to put it on him pretty easily. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the wires for the biomask. A lot of people were having trouble trying to attach the wires to his back, but as you can see, I managed to get them on there, and I didn't really have any difficulties at all either. I was able to attach them pretty easily. The thing that helped me a lot putting these into his back was that I used some tweezers, and that'll help you guys. So that's my advice to you, use tweezers. And then you get the med kit. You also have to attach that yourself. The netting on the torso is really good too. The shoulder armor and the chest armor are attached with a tube. You have to be very careful not to rotate the left arm too much, otherwise you run the risk of ripping off the tube. And then you get the bandolier with the laser mines that the predator uses in the sewers to kill the aliens. It is plastic. It feels plastic. All the other leather straps that are on his chest are also plastic. You got the wrist computer on his left arm, and it does open up to reveal the Yautja symbols on it. Really nice detail on that as well. Then on the right arm, you have the other gauntlet for his wrist blades. And the wrist blades are made of a die-cast metal. I got the short ones on him right now to make him look like they're retracted. The detail for the scars on his right shoulder are very nice and very accurate to how it was in the movie. You can even see the veins on his bicep there. Looks really nice. And on his back, you also get another spot where you can attach the cleaner kit. As you can see, that hole there, it's what holds the cleaner kit. All you need to do is plug this part here to that hole. So this could be a part of his outfit if you'd like. And it's really simple to attach it. And then we come to his loincloth. I gotta tell you guys, I really don't know how to feel about this because they made the loincloth into a molded plastic, like a floating piece for the groin area. It's sculpted really nicely and painted very nice as well. But like I said, it's not cloth, so I really don't know how I feel about it. A part of me says that it should be cloth, but another part of me says that it shouldn't. The reason that I say that it shouldn't be cloth is because the classic predator that you see over there, his loincloth is made of cloth. And the more you move him around with time, it starts to kind of rip and tear. I mean, not badly, but yeah, it's starting to tear just a little bit in certain areas. So that's why I say that it's good that it's not cloth with the wolf. Yeah, I'm torn between the two. I really don't know. Moving on, we also get the collapsed Shiryukens that are attached to his belt. He's got a total of 3 on him. You've got one there in the back, one in the front, and one on his side. Another reason why I say that the loincloth should be cloth is because when you put light on it, it does reflect the light. And it shouldn't do that because it basically gives it away that it's not cloth, and that kind of bugs me. Or if they're not going to make it a cloth material, at least paint it more of a matte color so it doesn't shine so much if they wanted to mold it from plastic. And then you get his thigh armor. This is another problem that I have. These straps here that run along the back of his thighs. They're made of a faux leather and they move really easy. Now, I've never owned the Berserker or Falconer or Tracker Predator from the movie The Predators, but I have heard and seen problems with those Predators. They have some straps that run along the chest area, and they've been known to rip off and just hang off the figure. So I'm kind of afraid that that will happen with this wolf predator over time. I pray that it doesn't, but given the fact that they move around when you're articulating the figure, I don't know, I'm very fearful. Moving on, the legs are very detailed as well. You got spikes coming out all over the place. You got some right there. And then you got some on his calves. And then you have more spikes on his feet. And they're all really detailed, and the skin tone is painted very nicely. And then his footwear is very nice as well. Painted very nicely and everything. I've never noticed this before, but apparently there's an opening for his toe. You see how all the rest of the toes are covered, but the big toe is exposed. I never noticed that before. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I guess it is because they painted it that way. So the outfit is really good. I don't have any real complaints about it. Everything is pretty accurate. There's only one little thing that I have a gripe about: the laser targeting system on his biomask. It does not have a light up function. I don't understand why they skipped out on that either. There's yet another disappointing thing about this figure. Why give us the classic Predator that has a biohelmet with a light up function on it, and then you give us this Wolf Predator with no light up function on the biohelmet at all? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it really frustrates me. I'm sure a lot of people will overlook that and it's not a big deal to them. But it does kind of bug me because it would look pretty awesome with the double shoulder cannons. So, because of that and the faux leather straps that run along his legs, I'm going to have to give the outfit a 9 out of 10. Alright, guys, so stick with me and we'll roll on to the next category. Alright, so now we've reached the category of articulation. And if you guys have owned any one of the more recent Predator figures from Hot Toys, you'll know how the articulation on this Wolf Predator will be. Like the classic Predator, the Scar Predator, the Celtic Predator, any one of those, you guys will know what to expect with this Wolf Predator. We'll start at the top with the head. The head doesn't look too far up, and it doesn't look too far down either. It's got a good swivel, not a full 360-degree turn, but it does decent enough. The tilt of the neck is pretty good too. You can get some pretty good pivot out of that. And moving on down from there to the shoulders, they're pretty good for being a Predator figure. It doesn't really have a shoulder shrug. The right shoulder, you can turn that a full 360 degrees, but you can't do that with the left one because of the shoulder and chest armor. If you try to rotate it too far, the hose that connects both armor pieces will snap. You can make the arms go outward about 40 degrees. Moving on down, you get single bend elbows. That's about 40 degrees. You get standard Hot Toys Predator wrist articulation, wrist pegs. I gotta tell you guys, I am really disappointed about how Hot Toys handled the forearm gauntlets on this figure. There's no rotation on any of them, so you can't turn them that way or that way. They're just fixed right there in that spot, and it's the same thing with the wrist computer on the other arm. I have no idea why they didn't just give us gauntlets that you can take off and put back on the arms whenever you want. They just fixed them on the figure like this. And it limits the posing options. It looks weird in certain poses, like this one for example. The wrist blades are supposed to be facing the back of his hand. So these blades are supposed to be right here. And same thing for the wrist computer. It just frustrates me, you know? I mean, they've done it before with the classic Predator that you see over there. The wrist blade gauntlet, you could take that off and on, and you can swivel it back and forth. But you can't do that with the wrist computer that he has, because he's got wires running through his arm, because the wrist computer lights up. It's got a light up function. So I could understand why the wrist computer wouldn't move on that figure, because of the wiring running through the inside of the arm. That I could understand. But they have no excuse for that on this figure, because the wrist computer doesn't have any wiring running through the arm. So there's no excuse why the wrist computer shouldn't be able to swivel. I mean, you had to have thought of that, Hot Toys. Come on, man. Moving on. There's no ab crunch at all. You can rotate the waist slightly back and forth, but there's no pivot on the waist. The hip to thigh area, you can get an approximate 40-degree kick out of that, and not that much backward. And you can kind of do splits with the legs, but not that much. Moving on down to the knees, you get a single bend, about 40 degrees. Moving on down to the ankles, they're not bad, they're pretty good. The figure can stand on his own. Slight pivot, and it can go up and down also as well. So that's it for the articulation, and I think it's going to have to suffer on the score for that. There's hindrances like the hose, for example, and the wrist gauntlets, like I said before, that was an easy fix that Hot Toys could have done. I don't know why they decided to do this. So I'm going to have to give the articulation a 6 out of 10. I just want to explain this pose really quick. You guys probably all recognize it. It's when he opens up the cleaner kit and inside the crashed Predator spaceship, and he's taking all of the equipment out, and he's getting ready to inject the alien residue into his computer so it can help track the aliens. Alright, so stick with me and we'll move on to the next category. Alright, so now we've reached the category of accessories. And I'll tell you guys that this figure comes with a boatload of stuff. And that's why it's called the Heavy Weaponry Wolf Predator. But it's missing so much more as well. So shame on you, Hot Toys, for excluding a lot of things. This figure had the potential to be the ultimate figure. but because of Hot Toys' decisions, it fell short. So let's start going through the accessories. First off, you get 4 hands in total. You get 2 hands for gripping as weapons, and 2 fists. And that's it. A predator should come with open hands, should be mandatory. Spread open hands like the original Predator and the classic Predator. They could have gave us a pointed finger hand, a hand that can hold the Shoryuken. I mean, these hands can hold the Shoryuken, but they don't hold it properly. It looks awkward. Yeah, really lacking in hands. Shame on you, Hot Toys, that should not be the case with this figure. This figure also comes with a spare pair of wrist pegs, which every Hot Toys figure has. You also get the extended whip, and it is bendable. It's got a wire running through it. As you guys can see right there. So you can get it into pretty much any pose that you want. It also comes with 2 pairs of wrist blades. It comes with a pair that are short to make it look like it's retracted. And it also comes with the extended wrist blades, as you can see there. And both pairs of wrist blades are made of die-cast metal. Moving along, we get a pair of mandibles and a jaw. These are the open mandibles. So if you don't want to display him wearing the mask, you can put these on to make him look like he's unmasked. But again, like I said before in the category of the likeness, shame on Hot Toys, because they only included 1 pair of mandibles. Why? Why couldn't they given us the closed mandibles as well? Like I said before, it limits your posing options. It should be required every time Hot Toys makes a Predator figure to have open and closed mandibles. Like I said before, it really frustrates me. This figure had the potential to be so much more than what it is. And then moving on, we get the cleaner kit. As you can see, it's open right now. And you can put stuff in it, as you can see. It does have the injection device all disassembled inside that the Predator uses to get the alien residue. And it's awesome. I love it. You can open and close it. It's made of plastic. Some people say that the paint job could have been better, but it doesn't bother me. They wanted it to look more metallic, and it does look a little bit plasticky, but it really doesn't bother me that much. You also get 1 opened Shoryuken, and it's painted really nicely. It looks like real metal, but it's plastic. It's not like the wrist blades, which are made of die-cast metal. A lot of people say that they wish that this would have been metal, but it doesn't really bother me. It looks like metal, so it's good enough. The only problem I have is that I wish that it came with another opened Shoryuken. We should have 2 of them, because if you guys remember in the movie, he did dual wield 2 open Shoryukens at once. Moving on, we get the secondary shoulder-mounted shoulder cannon, which is notorious for a lot of collectors not being able to put it on his shoulder. But like I said, I didn't have a problem with it. It was really easy for me. The thing that I found interesting is that these shoulder cannons are the most articulated shoulder cannons that I've ever seen Hot Toys make for a Predator. I've never handled the other Alien vs. Predator shoulder cannons for those Predators, like the Scar, the Celtic, or the Ancient Predator, or the figures from the Predators movie. But these shoulder cannons are definitely more articulated than the classic Predator or the original Predator. You also get the base. This is a reused base, I believe from the cleaner kit version. A lot of people argue that this base wasn't really done really good, but I think it looks good. I can't really find anything wrong with it. I mean, I guess it could have been painted a little bit better, but it doesn't really bother me that much. And moving on, we also get the coiled up whip that you can attach to his belt, which he's wearing right now. You also get the disintegrating liquid that he uses throughout the movie to get rid of all the evidence of the aliens on planet Earth. And then we also get the shoulder cannon, which he converts into a hand cannon, which is this one. And if you guys have seen Xenomorph on YouTube, check out his review for this figure. He pointed out something very important. This hand cannon that comes with this figure is definitely inaccurate to the one that he actually uses in the movie. They put the grip on backwards, and then they mass produced it, and now all the Hot Toys Wolf Predators come with this backwards hand cannon. The grip should have been the other way around. As you can see, I have the cleaner kit version of the hand cannon on him right now that he's holding. And the one that I'm holding is the one that actually comes with him. So as you can see, the grip is backwards. And someone else on YouTube also said that all you have to do to fix that problem is rotate it like this. But no, that doesn't work, because now the barrel is upside down. See? So no, that doesn't work. The grip is right and pointing in the right direction, but now the barrel is upside down. So if you turn this the other way, now the grip is backwards. So no, there's no way to correct this hand cannon. Another thing I forgot to mention was about the blue disintegrating liquid that the Predator uses. A lot of people put the bottle with the blue side up, but it's actually supposed to be like this, the way I have it. If you guys see in the movie, he does put it in his pouch that way. I'll show you guys a little clip as reference. And then we have the biomask, with the wires running along to his back. This primary shoulder cannon is non-detachable. You can't take it off his shoulders, so don't try. And then you get his medikit that is detachable. When you take it out of the package, you have to attach it yourself, but it doesn't open. And then you have his combi stick, which is extendable, and it's really nice. The paint job on it is really nice, and so is the weathering. And I believe that's everything. That's all the accessories. Like I said, it's missing a lot of things, but it comes with a lot of things. But I still have to say that this figure is very disappointing, because this figure fell short of becoming so much more than it is. Like I said, it's missing a lot of hands, it's missing the closed mandibles, it's missing an extra opened Shoryuken. The hand cannon that they gave us is backwards. Yeah, so this figure could have been so much more. So because of that, I'm going to have to give the accessories a 7 out of 10. It gets a 7 because it still comes with a lot. But at the same time, it's still missing a lot, so. Alright guys, so stick with me while we wrap up this review and add up the score. Okay, so to round up the score and wrap up this review, this figure gets a total of 47 out of 60. Not the best score, but I gotta tell you guys, this figure has to be the most disappointing figure of this year. I can't stress it enough that this figure had the potential to be so much more than it is. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a good figure, but it could have been a great figure. Where this figure most suffered was the articulation, accessories, and of course the source information. Alright guys, so that's another review done and in the bag. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. And don't forget to ring the bell to get notifications of my newest videos that come out. So until next time, guys, I will catch you all on the flip side. Alright, bye, guys.